I guess even though we were free, we were still slaves in the mind.
Message!
What's going on, family? It's your guy, VO to the R with the Lucky Libra here, and thank you for tuning in to another episode, all right? We're continuing the sign series, all right? And today, as you can see by the title, we're picking it up with Taurus Zodiac sign. Yesterday, previously we started this series with the Aries Zodiac sign. And remember, guys, this isn't the Sun series sign. The Sun sign series. This is just the archetype. So even though we're talking about Taurus and the Taurus Zodiac sign right now, we're not talking about the Sun in Taurus. We're just talking about the Taurus Zodiac sign itself. The energies of the Taurus archetype itself. So if you have the Sun, Moon, if it's your rising, if it's your Mercury, your Jupiter, whatever's in this sign, you understand the energetic archetype of it, all right? So let's jump right into it, all right? So we know we want to look at a couple of things that create the archetype of this sign. We want to look at the house it came out of. We want to look at the modality, the element, and the planets that are either home, exalted, detriment, or sleep in these houses, all right? Now, Taurus comes out of the second house, okay? Comes out of the second house, and just like I said in the video before, what do we know about the houses? The houses were here before the signs. The houses ruled the signs, not the signs ruled the houses. The signs got their energies from the houses, okay? Now in the second house, the second house is our value house, okay? It's like our self-esteem house. The first house, God's consciousness realized, okay, I'm here, I'm the light, I started, I'm in this reality, I have a body, I am, okay? That's basically what the theme I am means. And when we go into the second space now of the second house, this is I value, okay? So it's more so not just what I value, but what do I feel like I have to offer to the world? What values do I feel like I have to give to the world? And this is where we get the self-esteem house, okay? And in the second house, the second house is an earth house. The second house is an earth house. So whenever we want to look at our career or want to look at work in our lives, we want to look at the second, the sixth, and the 10th house, because those are our earth houses. And in the zodiac, the earth element always going to correlate back to work, career, financial stability, material resources, and some shape or form is going to come back to them things. Earth also deals with making shapes and forms. Remember, we're dealing with material. We're dealing with like physical things, okay? And if it's not an actual physical thing, an earth sign or somebody with a lot of earth placements are creating mental or emotional shapes and forms that can develop into certain experiences or physical things itself. Now, the second house, it's what I value. So we also plant seeds in this house, okay? So if you look at your natal chart and you look at your second house, you look at what planets or signs are in this house, you're gonna see that you truly value the things that are in this house, okay? Or you also feel like these are the energies that you feel like you have to give off to the world, all right? It's also one of your creative houses as well. And while it's an earth house, is a fixed earth house. Fixed earth. So Taurus is fixed earth. So what do we know about fixed signs? Okay, fixed signs like to stay fixed on a way of thinking or feeling. And because it's fixed earth, Tauruses like to stay fixed on being logical and practical. Okay? So this is why Tauruses, they're always going to use logic first. They're always going to try to make sense of things first. Earth signs they're built off of making sense of things, all right? And when you have Taurus, when you have fixed earth in the second house, and now we have the ruling planet Venus, okay? Because Venus rules Taurus, this what makes Tauruses wants. What is Venus, matter of fact? Venus is relating, compromising, how we value others, how we see the input, how we value the input of others, all right? It's also where we get support at, and it's also how we connect here. And when you have Venus being home here, Venus ruling Taurus, this makes a Taurus A Taurus knows how to connect. A Taurus wants to relate to others, but more so on a work practical level. So sometimes, you know, a Taurus can want to relate on a business level, okay? And because that may be what they truly value. It depends what this Taurus truly values. And that's gonna most how it's gonna want to communicate with people in its life. However, you know, with Venus here, cause it's an Earth, you got Venus. All right, look, Venus rules Libra and Taurus. Libra is an air sign coming out the 7th house. Now Taurus is an Earth sign coming out the 2nd house. So if think about it, we have our values, and then we have Earth material. Put that together. Then we can have, you know, we could build somewhat of a superficial nature here, because now we're connecting, relating to physical things, to things that bring us physical pleasures. All right, and this could be, you know, name brand stuff, nice clothes, nice foods, anything that could bring about a nice physical experience. All right, this is why, and remember, wherever Venus is at, this is where we can indulge. You need to know where Venus is at in your chart, because this area of life is where you can indulge, because Venus is where we find pleasures. Okay, so you know, Tauruses are naturally going to have a pleasure for the nicer material things in life. Okay, and now we have the moon here. The moon is exalted in Taurus. Okay, the moon is exalted here, and whenever a planet is exalted, this means this is where it can exhaust itself. This is where it can overdo it. All right, so a kid in Disneyland, this is his favorite place to be, but it can exhaust itself, eat too much junk food, and you know, go crazy on rides so early in the day and not pace it out, and now it's still early, but you want to go home. You ain't got no energy left. You exhausted yourself. So with the moon here, where there's also the moon is connecting, nurturing our reactions, right? So you put that together with Venus and Earth, you can have this creates Taurus can be a person that overindulges into connecting with the material resources, or overindulging into connecting and relating to things that bring about material pleasures, okay, superficial pleasures. All right, and but on the great side, on the good side, you know, the moon is the nurturer. All right, and this makes Taurus one of the best gift givers. I think Tauruses are the best gift givers in the zodiac, because, you know, like I said, they deal with what makes sense, because it's Earth. It's Earth dealing with logic. All right, so because they're dealing with logic and practicality and what makes sense, but it also knows it likes to indulge into physical pleasures, the moon is also a nurturer. So you put that together, a Taurus is going to know what makes sense, what's the best physical gift or physical thing to give to this person, and I know exactly why this gift is the best thing to give to this person, even if it's something that's not expensive or motherfucking glamorous and shit. Taurus also know what meaning is going to be behind what I'm giving to this person, okay? Makes him one of the best gift givers, one of the best nurturers. A Taurus just wants to, like, if you're like dating a Taurus is definitely going to do their best to, like, you know, even though you can say the sun is like the provider, a Taurus do take a lot of the provider role. A Taurus is hard on themselves about work, period. If you tell a Taurus they're lazy, you know, that could really do something to them emotionally, mentally, because they're hard on themselves, okay? And now we have Pluto falls here, okay? Pluto, or I say Pluto is away here. Pluto's in detriment here. And Taurus is fixed Earth. So whenever you hear fixed, this is being situated. This is being in this one way, in this one perspective, right? So it's like a motherfucking tree. See, go try to move a tree and see how hard that shit is, okay? It takes a strong force to move a tree. It takes a tornado, it takes a tsunami, you feel me? Now, when we talk about Pluto, what is Pluto? Pluto is deep passions, desires, deep transformation, okay? So it's basically Mars, but on a higher octave. So when we talk about deep transformation comes from power and control issues, okay? Deep desires and passions come from also having power and control struggles, all right? And, you know, a Taurus don't like don't like being so transforming and whatnot. Don't like being so transformative. If that's whatever, I believe that's a word. But a Taurus likes to being situated in what makes sense. A Taurus, you could almost say like they like being secure. And when it comes to deep passions and desires, a Taurus is not going to put deep passions and desires into something that they don't know, unless they need to know it works first, all right? A Taurus need to know something works first before I put my all into it, all right? Until I know it works, I'm going to just keep analyzing it and seeing how things come into fruition. But if I see something works, then I don't know how to roll with it. But I'm not going to put all my, marbles onto that shit. And that's how a Taurus thinks. And as far as being transformative, a Taurus don't like OD transforming. All right, it likes getting into a situated spot that makes sense. I know this career right here, this job right here makes sense for the time being. It's gonna pay my bills and it's gonna help me work on whatever else I gotta work on. If my homie come to me with this hustle, and if this hustle doesn't truly make, the side hustle doesn't truly make sense, if this side hustle possibly gonna throw me off of what I'm already situated on, I don't really want no parts of it. Okay? Now he gonna have to show me this shit really makes sense, or I'm gonna have to see shit really works and don't move me off of where I already got situated. Then I could put some time, energy, and effort into it. Okay, that's how a Taurus thinks. So don't when you see a Taurus being stubborn, all right, because all fixed signs could be stubborn. Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, and motherfucking Scorpio. They could all be stubborn. All right. If you're one of these, your ass know you stubborn. And if you got any one of these friends, family members in your life, you date one of these, they stubborn too. But now your understanding is coming from this fixed modality. And Tauruses can be very moody too. And I believe this really comes from the moon being exalted, because y'all gotta understand the moon is our Merkaba. This is our lightest chakra. This is our emotions, our feelings. All right, this is our reactions. So this is why Cancers can be moody too. Cancers are ruled by the moon. So just having the moon here, you're picking up energies, you're honing in on a lot of emotional energies, and Tauruses can create shapes and forms, because this is fixed earth. So you're making shapes and forms, you're thinking about making shapes and forms, and if you're holding in onto certain things, onto certain shapes and forms that you built off a certain negative emotion you caught, over time that can generate a certain mood in you. So Tauruses, y'all got to make sure that y'all not holding grudges. This is important for Tauruses, Cancers, and Scorpios. Tauruses, Cancers, and Scorpios. It's very important for you guys not to hold grudges, because the things that y'all create internally can really hold you back, or create these moods that are opposing to other people's and whatnot. And then they get to a point where you're not even in a bad mood, and motherfuckers is looking at you like, nigga, what's wrong? All right, because of all this shit you done held in. All right, now, so that's Pluto. This is why Tauruses don't like to be super transforming or whatnot. And when you have Mars falls here. Mars don't like to be here. So, what is Mars? Mars is our passions, desires, and our intent. The things we intend to do. All right, our intentions. So Mars also doesn't like to take time. Mars doesn't fuck with patience and being practical and time. Mars gets active. Mars just goes and does. Taurus ain't fucking with that energy. Taurus needs to be able to look at something, see what makes sense, think on it, ponder on it a little bit. All right, fill it out. It can't just dive head first into something. So this is how this plays out with Mars falling here. Okay, yes, Tauruses can have deep passion, deep desires, and whatnot. And of course, everybody's gonna have deep passions and desires and whatnot. But the thing with Taurus is, they may place themselves in situations where these things don't get so deep, because they done got situated and they're not dealing with no power and struggle issues, because they feel like where they at is situated and secure. And if you feel secure, or you put yourself in a position of being secure, all right, then you're not necessarily dealing with power and control issues. But somebody that's not trying to build themselves off of being secure, somebody that's trying to strive for something, somebody that's trying to strive for dreams and fantasies and whatever, and a lifestyle that's not based off of being secure, something that I gotta go take a leap of faith of doing first, then they're gonna see their deep passions and deep desires and deep goals and the intentions and things they didn't know they could do after they take the leap of faith. But a lot of Tauruses may not take that leap of faith because the shit gotta make sense to them first, all right? Or they gotta at least have an example of some of that shit making sense to somebody else, or it just can't get in the way of the secure position they already made for themselves, all right? And so, second house, all right, fixed Earth, Venus being home here, the moon being exalted here, all right? Tauruses, be careful of overindulging into connecting to material resources, all right? We know y'all love to eat good food, all right? But don't motherfucking, watch that diet now, okay? I know y'all, matter of fact, I don't even got to tell you Tauruses to watch your diet because y'all pretty picky with food. I know y'all are very picky. Y'all won't eat anything even though y'all like to eat, I know y'all like to eat fancy shit, but I ain't got to tell y'all all that. And then, we have Mars and Pluto that's away here, don't like to be here, and you see how those energies being away, how it, directly correlates into Tauruses not liking to be so transformative, all right? Tauruses, if Tauruses see a person that's, doing this thing one time and then the next week they're working on this thing and then they never see somebody's consistent with something or something, they're not stable on something, a Taurus don't like that energy. Taurus might not want nothing to do with that person because that's too wishy-washy, that's too up in the air, it's too much going on, okay? And, yeah, guys, that's the Taurus zodiac sign right there, in a nutshell. All right, y'all. So y'all already know what it is. Go ahead and drop some mother friggin' comments. Let's engage or whatnot. Drop some video requests. And y'all already know, boy, luckily we're gonna keep it rolling, man. But for now, I'm out of here. Next video we get into is the Gemini zodiac archetype. All right. And until then, I'm out of here. Peace.